Nokia has a long history in the phone industry. It's filled with ups and downs, frivolous twists of fate, ominous predictions, and glorious reincarnations, much like a Shakespearean sonnet. When the license holder HMD decided to quit the flagship smartphone game after the Nokia 9 PureView fiasco, many people were left disappointed. But it is what it is, and in the past couple of years, we've been left on the receiving end of numerous mid-range devices with the Nokia brand stamped on them. The Nokia X30 5G is yet another one of those, but at the same time trying to incorporate some flagship characteristics, and in a sense justify its higher than usual price tag. Does it succeed in doing so? Watch on to find out. Nokia X30 5G design. Colors. The Nokia X30 5G is a pretty piece of tech. There's no doubt about it. This is maybe the best part of the whole thing, and if you're into thin, lightweight, premium-feeling smartphones, you'll love it. The design might be perceived as old-fashioned, because phones strive to be as thin as possible a couple of years ago, and the overall frame treatment is also a bit outdated, but it looks good. The back of the phone is made of plastic, but you wouldn't be able to tell it, and it's very pleasant on the touch. It has a nice papery feel to it, and produces a cool SHHH sound when you run your fingers through it. It's also a joy to hold with a slight curvature on the back, and it's 185 GB of weight. Another cool touch is the camera bump, which is made of a solid chunk of aluminum, slightly flush with the body on one side. It does look premium. Nokia X30 5G. Why not insert a random Mass Effect reference when we're done with Shakespeare? Well, the display of the Nokia X30 5G is just like a harbinger of the alien race that mind controls the protagonist, or at least tries to, in the popular sci-fi game. In what sense? Well, it's a 90Hz refresh rate display, but you can't choose to have it at 90Hz. There are two modes: standard, 60Hz, and adaptive, switches between 60 and 90Hz automatically. There's little to no control over the color scheme. Either you can make the display cooler or warmer via a slider, but that's pretty much it. No color presets or factory calibrated accurate settings. And while the above can be mistaken for criticism, the display of the Nokia X30 is actually pretty decent, with a brightness of 700 plus nits and good outdoor visibility. It's also crisp with a 400 plus ppi. The trouble is that most mid-rangers from other popular brands offer more features. 120Hz. Color calibrated modes, more sophisticated always-on modes, for less. The X30 5G sports a dual camera system on its back, featuring the usual suspects: wide, ultra-wide configuration. The main camera is a 50MP sensor under a 1.8 aperture lens with optical image stabilization and phase detection autofocus. The ultra-wide snapper is a 13MP f2.4 camera, and there's a 16MP selfie camera on the front. Nokia proudly presents the Camera 2.0 software with the X30, with bells and whistles such as Night Mode 2.0, Tripod Mode, Dark Vision, AI Portrait, and more. The main camera does well in good lighting conditions, even though I wouldn't classify it as flagship grade. Some of the images look a bit flat, with narrow dynamic range despite HDR mode trying to help as much as it can. The ultra-wide situation is a bit worse. The sensor just can't get the same amount of light and detail as the one under the main camera lens. You can see this one looking at the serrated architecture of the building in the following photos. Details are lost in the ultra-wide shot. There's also a night mode, and it bears a 2.0 version label. There's nothing groundbreaking here. This uses frame stitching, HDR, and other tricks to make darker areas brighter, and vice versa, revealing more details in the process. Your mileage may vary. As always, using such modes require a steady hand, and it's very dependent on the frame you're trying to shoot. On the plus side, the effect is pretty subtle and will make night shots appear like ones taken in broad daylight. Some Far East models are guilty of that. Video is so-so, and the limit here comes from the platform itself. It tops at 1080p at 6 fps. The Snapdragon 695 doesn't do 4K, and we saw this first with the Xperia 10 Roman 4. I feel the camera is capable of more, and the end result would have been much prettier in 4K, but again, it is what it is. There's a cinema mode, something similar to what Sony is doing with its Cinema Pro app, but with a lack of 4K it won't get much usage, I'm afraid. Portrait AI is one of the new features, and it works pretty well. Again, it's an algorithm that blurs the background for that sweet bokeh effect. At its most extreme setting, it blurred the tip of my ear, but all in all, it got the job done. Get in line. There are plenty of options in this price range, around $540. For starters, the Galaxy A53 is a great choice. It's not only cheaper but also offers a 120Hz AMOLED display that's bigger and brighter. Then we have the Sony Xperia 10 Roman 4, which sports the same chipset but has a bigger battery, lasts longer. And it is again cheaper than the Nokia. You can get an iPhone SE if you feel like doing so. It's hard to compare both phones, but again, the Apple device is cheaper. The OnePlus Nord 2 5G offers a lot for less money, and you can get into flagship territory. Pixel 6, Pixel 7, Xiaomi 12. If you spend just $50, plenty of choice, and a hard time for the Nokia X35. Overview. Time to wrap it up. The Nokia X30 5G is a really good-looking mid-range. It's also slim, lightweight, and compact, and comes with the promise of 3 full years of major software and security updates. Sadly, it's still a mid-ranger, hampered by its mediocre chipset, the lack of 4K recording hurts, and also weighed down by its hefty price. The display tops out at 98Hz when it decides to, and there are little to no reasons for people to opt for the Nokia when there are so many good options in this price range. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.